Hello everyone, my name is Anastasia Slough and I'm representing Kansas State University. My talk was originally made to be a campfire talk. Hi, I want to welcome you all out to our program tonight. Thank you for coming out. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Kansas State flower, friend or foe. Now you might be wondering, why would the sunflower be a foe? Well, in the next 8 minutes, we will be taking a journey through the controversial history of the sunflower. But first, I want to start by telling you all a story about my grandmother. My grandmother, Janet Young, grew up far away from Kansas in Schenectady, New York, but she loved the sunflower. She was a very courageous woman. She loved to go horseback riding and shoot guns with her brothers, and she loved the sunflower because of its sturdy nature and that it would always turn facing towards the sun throughout the whole day. She liked to keep a positive attitude and thought the sunflower was just the perfect flower for her. She loved it so much she would wear a sunflower badge everywhere she went and when she lived in New York. But when she turned 17, her parents decided they were going to pack up and move to Kansas, which she wasn't totally excited about, being 17 years old, having to move halfway across the country. But she went along with it, and upon arriving in Kansas, she found out that her birthday is actually on the same day as Kansas Day, and that her favorite flower, the sunflower, was now the state flower where she lived. So she was just so ecstatic. But not everyone always loved the sunflower as much as my grandmother did. The sunflower had a very different reputation in Kansas in the mid-1800s. Lots of people didn't see the beauty of the sunflower. They didn't see the value that it had. And many people even thought that it was a noxious weed that should be eradicated. There was one state representative that called it worse than the cocklebur, which if you've ever been out trekking through the woods and you get little stickers all over you, you know how annoying that can be to pick them all off. So he was comparing the sunflower to a cocklebur, which I don't exactly agree with. I think the sunflower is beautiful, but that representative and a lot of other Kansans just kind of saw the sunflower as a nuisance, which if you've ever been driving through western Kansas in the summer, you've probably seen fields and fields of sunflowers just growing wild, and maybe you can understand why people in this time thought they might be a noxious weed, thought they might be a nuisance, because they were just so prevalent, and the birds would carry the seeds and they would just pop up everywhere. So while there was a lot of Kansans that did not like the sunflower, that didn't see the value, didn't see the beauty in it, there was one group of Kansans during this time that did like the sunflower. That was the rodeo team. The Kansas rodeo team saw the sunflower in the same light that my grandmother did. They saw that it was a strong flower. They thought that it represented beauty and strength, and they thought it was a really good symbol for their team. When they went to go compete out of state, they would wear sunflower patches on the side of their uniform. They would go to Colorado, Oklahoma, Nebraska, and soon, outside of the state, people started recognizing them. Hey, Kansas, they got the sunflower patch. They must be the sunflower state. And so while outside the state, people started recognizing the sunflower as a symbol for Kansas, inside the state, there's still, people didn't like it as much. They're like, let's get rid of it. We don't need this, even though it really is a native species to Kansas. But it all changed when George Morehouse, he was a senator. He was elected in 1900, and he had a long history of cattle ranching with his family and loved kind of the rodeo type things, and he actually traveled out of state to one of the rodeo tournaments and noticed that the uniforms had the sunflower on it, and he hadn't seen that before. And George Morehouse thought that it was really great, and he came back to Kansas and said, we have to make this our state flower. This is a really good representation of Kansans. This shows their hardy nature, their perseverance. Sunflowers are very enduring flowers. And so in 1903, he wrote the bill and the sunflower became the state flower of Kansas. So even though the sunflower wasn't always appreciated, today many people love the sunflower, and I hope that you all see it as a friend rather than a foe. Thank you.